Ongeloof is eigenlijk het juiste woord wat Rijke hier hanteert. Dat was bij mij dus ook mijn eerste gewaarwording dat ik dacht, dat kan niet. Dat mag...
Beauty fades, dumb is forever. I want you to think about that. Think about it. Just think about what it means. It means you can make this as pretty as you like. It's up here that what's...
Has he been consistent with what he's saying, or does he do things or say things on occasion?
Well, 3 weeks ago, we had slept together in Phoenix.
3 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago. I was down in Phoenix, and we slept together. I have texts that says he loves me. I have texts that says we can work on us, but we need time. It's going to take time.
Did you do that, Mr. Ware?
No, we didn't sleep together.
You didn't sleep together?
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
And I don't have a girlfriend.
That's on
You don't have a girlfriend?
I don't have
Yes,
a
he
girlfriend.
does.
I have a friend, but I don't have a girlfriend.
It's his girlfriend.
Well,
that they live together. Come on now.
well, who is
Sleep in the same bed. Whatever.
We are friends, and we're working on the relationship, but I'm still in love with this woman and trying to get
This is the girl that he lives with.
Yeah.
That he got a place with.
that she's not your girlfriend?
No, but I'll tell you how
Well,
I met
let's
her.
ask her. Let's ask Tiffany.
No, let's not, because I'll beat her up.
I can tell you how I met her.
Stay right there.
You ain't gonna deny that you slept with me because of her?
I'm not even with her, so why would I need it? Why do I need to deny it?
Because you're denying it to the judge. I can't do this. I want to beat her up. I'm sorry, Judge.
If you need to leave, leave. I don't want no assaults. If you need to go, go. Let me tell you something. Don't let that anger for her own you. You've been through too much. You're too beautiful. You have too many opportunities. Don't let anybody, no one, determine your future for you. If you hit her, you go to jail. She's not worth it. I don't know her. I did nothing against you, but it's just not worth it. I want you.
They are suing Paul Harvey, the defendant, for unreturned property and harassment. The defendant is countersuing the plaintiffs for unpaid rent, the cost of a rifle, and emotional distress. Now, according to your statements, Nicole, you used to date the defendant. Yes. And the defendant was, Brandon, a good friend of yours. And, Nicole, you outright admit that you had an affair with Brandon behind the defendant's back. Is that correct? All right. Now, Paul, they claim that when you found out about the affair, that you were upset and you threatened to take your own life or take their lives. Is that correct?
No, that is correct. I did
All
say
right.
that.
Now, not only do you say that he threatened your lives, but that he did it on the phone. I think we have a copy of that. I'd like to listen to that now.
You can have me come over right now, or I can come over later. What Brandon said. And we can work this out.
What are we working out?
Someone's dying tonight.
What? Why do I have to leave?
Because it's cool. Because you're going to take Brandon with you.
Okay, but why do I have to leave?
Because I'm going to kill him, and I'm going to make you watch. I will tear him piece by piece apart.
Why would you make a statement like that?
Because I was incredibly upset, Your Honor.
Why were you incredibly upset?
Nicole and I had been together for 3 years, and we had known each other for 5. We were actually even engaged and planning on getting married and
How
having
old
children.
were you when you met Nicole?
I was 15.
And how old were you when you threatened to kill?
This was only a couple months ago, so it would have been
How
19,
old?
19, Your Honor.
Is there anything inside of you that told you that that was criminal?
No, I didn't realize that it was criminal. I knew that it was afterwards.
You're lucky the police didn't show up and arrest you for that statement. You know that.
Yes, I do know that.
You're an adult. You're 19 years old when you make that statement. You do not threaten to kill someone unless you want the police to show up in SWAT gear and everything else and take you out. Do you understand the seriousness of that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right. Nicole, what is this about? You meet Brandon, his friend, and you have an affair with him behind his back?
Yeah.
Well,
It wasn't.
At least she's honest. All right. What happened?
Me and Paul had been dating for 3 years, and through that we went through a lot of stuff. And by the end of the relationship, I was actually planning on breaking up with him before I met Brandon. I just was so comfortable with this, like, with the relationship that I was too scared to move on. Like, I didn't.
No.
I was afraid.
You can't use that in the same sentence and say, because I was so comfortable, I was scared to move on. If you're comfortable, you're not scared. You know? I mean, no. I was so comfortable that it was in my interest to stay because it was easy, but then to move on with someone else, which is what you did. And then you get this guy out of his mind, apparently, because he had affection for you. Were you two living together at the time?
Yes.
All right. Did you move in together with the intention of marrying?
No.
Okay. Is this your first girlfriend, Paul?
Not my first girlfriend, but the first girlfriend that I've ever felt this way about, yes, Your Honor.
You loved her?
Very much, and I still do.
And you still do?
Yes.
You know, Paul, I mean, I'm very angry with you because I prosecuted people for years who threatened to kill other people. It sends them into a tizzy, and I haven't even gotten to the bottom of it. But at the same time, I sense a great deal of pain and disappointment. And you've got to understand that in life, Paul, you're going to have a lot of disappointments, and you can't react with anger and threats to kill, because this is already a matter of record. You're a good-looking guy. I assume you're a bright guy. Step out, step it up, and find another girl. You don't let someone ruin your life. You're still in love with her? Get over it, okay? She's not in love with you, and right now she doesn't deserve you. All right? She's with the other guy. That's the end of it. Everybody plays the fool, all right? There's a song. We all play the fool, all right? And what you've got to do is figure out how you're going to move on, all right? When you walk out of this courtroom, you're going like this, all right? You with me?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, now. So what happens, Nicole?
What happened, Your Honor, is that we had a trip planned to my hometown one weekend. It was going to be Paul, Nicole, and I. And Paul pulled out, so Nicole and I went down. And during the weekend, we kissed, we came back. Nicole and I did feel guilty about it. That night, she wanted to talk to Paul about it to see if things would work out. But I got a call a couple hours after she left my apartment saying that her and Paul broke up and that she needed a place to stay for the moment.
So you break up with Paul when, Nicole?
I broke up with Paul on March 28th.
March 28th. Okay, and so that's after the weekend trip?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, good. So what does Paul, how does Paul react to your breaking up with him?
He was very upset about it. He begged me not to go. I told him that my feelings had kind of went away for him over some time, and that I wanted to do something for I wanted to make myself happy, because I realized being in the relationship wasn't making me happy.
Okay.
Your Honor, at that point, that weekend was not the first time that they had kissed. Nicole openly admitted to me at a later date that they had been fooling around for a couple weeks prior to breaking up with me. In addition to that, I did not back out of the trip. I wanted to go with them. Nicole actually convinced me not to go because I needed to work.
She breaks up with you after the weekend trip. What happens after that?
She actually took a shower at the house, and we had relations that night.
You had sex with him that night after the weekend trip?
And
I had sex with him because he pressured me into having sex with him. He told me...
He pressured you into having sex with him?
He had me on the bed, and he was on top of me, saying, like, begging me to have sex with him. He told me he would leave me alone, and he wouldn't bother me anymore. I felt really bad, and, like, I wanted him to stop.
Okay. So you break up with him after the road trip, and then you have sex with him because of your guilt trip? Is that what you're saying here? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
But I want you to be careful of one thing, Nicole. When you say a guy pressures you, you're a woman, okay? And you're a woman who's claiming he pressured you to have sex. All right, my antennas go up, and you've got to understand, when you use that word, a prosecutor immediately thinks rape. Do not use that word lightly. You can say he persuaded me to have sex. But when you say pressured me, I'm thinking rape, and you're not making a claim of rape. Did you say no?
No.
Precisely. All right? Be careful. Be careful of that. What about, is there a restraining order here?
Not anymore.
You got it?
Yes.
Against him?
Yes.
For what?
For the threats that he was making on the video there. That video was just a clip of 30 minutes of him making death threats, saying to Nicole that he hopes that she goes to hell and burns in hell.
I have a statement here that says, I gave her 3 options. Your statement.
Yes, Your Honor. That's in regards to the
She
video.
and Brandon could leave the state, I could kill myself, or I could kill Brandon. What is this, the high noon in the Wild West? Are you out of your mind?
No, Your Honor, I was very upset at the
You
time.
are very egocentric to think that because 2 people fell in love that you should kill them or kill yourself.
Your Honor, I was actually particularly upset about
I know
the
you were
killing.
upset.
No,
We went through that, and I'm not...
She had actually previously told me that she wanted me to kill myself.
She wanted you to kill yourself.
Yes, and she had also previously told me that she intended to leave the state because she couldn't take it here anymore.
Let me ask you a question. Did you try to get her to buy you a gun? You're suing her for a gun?
Your Honor, yes, that's what the promissory note is listed. But
what promissory note?
I actually
hand it up. Now, Nicole, what are the circumstances of the promissory note?
Well, when we were dating, he asked if we could one day, if I could get him an M14 or an M1A1, whichever.
After you were dating?
When we were dating.
When you were dating?
When we were dating, he asked for that. And he requested that he could take out money out of his paycheck.
No. This says, I, Nicole Buck, will return to live with Paul Harvey for 1 week starting 4/11 and ending 4/18. I also will purchase an M14. Now, the weekend was the end of March. This is 4/11 to 4/18. This is after he threatened to kill you. You're going to agree to buy him an M14? Why did you want an M14?
Your Honor, I no longer want
Why did you want an M14? Answer my question.
Previously? Well, I do like guns, but that was not what I wanted. I did not want
That's all I
one.
wanted to hear. Now, your statement, Nicole, you say that at one point you took a pregnancy test. What's this about?
He wanted me to take a pregnancy test, and this was after he found out me and Brandon were having sex, because previously he had requested that we didn't.
What do you care?
No, because up to that point she had still said that she wasn't, and so I wanted to make sure that if she did,
What's
for
the
some
pregnancy
reason...
test going to prove? That she's pregnant, not who she had sex with.
I know,
What are
Your
you going
Honor,
to do, send the test to the FBI forensic lab?
No, I wanted to make sure that she did not have a child of mine and wouldn't lie to me about it because I was afraid at that point.
You know what? You're far too into this. I keep telling you, I said at the beginning of this case, move on. Now, what's this thing with the, you say that he forced you to stay with him?
He said that if I spent time with him, that it could give him that last week of being with me, and then he'd be able to move on.
Okay.
After being there for a few hours, I felt very uncomfortable being around him, and I tried to leave, but he kept trying to block the door from me leaving.
He wouldn't let you leave?
Mm-mm.
Your Honor,
Do you
that's
refer to
incorrect.
this as being held hostage?
Yes.
Did you go to the court and get an order because he's holding you hostage, pressuring you to have sex?
I did try to get a restraining order, but I was told I got denied.
You got denied?
I got denied because
Was this after the hostage situation? When did you try to get a restraining order?
After the hostage situation, I tried to get a restraining order, and they told me they couldn't because he hadn't physically threatened my life.
You were there because of guilt. You played the two of them like a ping pong ball. He told you to come back, so you went back. You have sex with him, you have sex with him. Do you understand, Nicole, what you do when you play with people's emotions? People go crazy sometimes. And I'm not saying that you don't have the right to be with Brandon. I hope you're happy. That's not what I'm saying. But you got to draw a line and live with it. All right. Now, you're suing him for emotional distress. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Unreturned property, a couch, a bed, a washer and dryer. You have a couch, bed, and washer and dryer?
Yes, Your Honor. And I was actually told that she did not want the couch, and the washer and dryer I was told would stay out the house until we moved out, and that was from her parents. And then,
so you think her parents want you to have the washer and dryer when you threatened to kill her and her boyfriend? Or yourself? Come on. Now, you're suing her for unpaid rent for April, May, and June.
Your Honor, I've already paid her portion because the landlord told me that we would get evicted if it didn't get paid, so I paid for part of her portion of April. She still owes me $125 for that, and I've paid for her portion of May and June already.
All right, good. Now, you want the rifle, $1,500 for the rifle.
I'd like to use it to go to school. Like I said, Your Honor,
the rifle. You're going to shoot your way in? I don't understand. What do you mean?
No, Your Honor. She was supposed to give me $1,500. The promissory note was still under the pretense because she didn't know that I was saving for a down payment on a house.
So why not ask her for the cash? Why are you asking her for an M14?
I misworded it, Your Honor. It was supposed to... No, Your Honor.
Why didn't you ask for a pair of shoes? What do you mean you misworded it?
I was supposed to say that she would give me the money for it because I didn't want her to know what it was for.
All right, you want to charge him with harassment or file $2,800 for harassment? Why, Nicole?
because I have been very stressed out in the last few months.
I have a tip for you. You can't get involved emotionally with two guys and then blame one for the stress. You brought it on yourself. Had you been honest, had you been clear, this wouldn't affect you. And what you're involved in isn't different. It's no different than anyone else. It's the way you dealt with it that was different. Put him over the edge, and I'm not giving you an excuse. You did it. I would have arrested you if I were the DA. End of the story. Now, with respect to the rifle or the $1,500 for the rifle, she claims that she was under duress at the time and that she would have signed anything to get out. I truly believe that, and I'm not going to give you money for that, whether it's $1,500 or a rifle or anything else. I'm not going to reward you for that. Anything having to do with a gun doesn't get rewarded in this courtroom. Now, the emotional stress, $2,600 against her. You know what? In life, you're going to be stressed out a lot. You get nothing. Now, you say that she owes you $875 for rent, but in going through the evidence here, which I think is very interesting, at some point did you take the key off her keychain?
I asked for it after she had been gone for about a week because I was afraid of her.
Was that in April, after the road trip?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So here's the deal. You took the keychain off, the key off the keychain. You constructively evicted her. So my order for you is $125. My order for you, for the plaintiffs, is the $2,200 for the property. But you're not getting the money. My court clerk will oversee the transfer of property within the next week by the defendant. If not, then you're going to get $2,200 for the unreturned property. Be clear on your motion. So ordered. That's it.
Ms. Gray, you are suing the defendant because you got hit by a football while you were at the beach, and you feel that the defendant was being negligent?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Explain what happened.
Okay. So I went to the beach, and I want to be suing him for $750 because he hit me in the face with a football. He broke my nose, he broke my cartilage, and they had to re-break my nose in order for it to be fixed. And I have my medical report right here.
Wow. Okay. Can you give Renard your evidence? Okay. So you broke your nose?
Yes. So the insurance covered most of it, but like I said, there's $750 left over that I think that since he's the one who hit me in the face, I feel that he should pay. So about 6 months ago, I went to the beach. It was Sunday, and I go every single Sunday. I go to the beach, and he's never been there before. I go to the same spot every time. He's never been there. I always go to by the dock, by 13.
And this is a public beach, is that correct?
Yes, it is a public beach. There are children and everything. So I bring my grill over to the fire pit, and you know there's more than one person at the pit. There's more than one grill. So I want to grill my veggie burgers, and so I'm getting it set up, and he comes over, and him and his friends are there, and they're playing football, and he's really immediately very angry and hostile about the fact that I dare to set up my grill in his pit. So I'm saying, you know, I just want to grill my veggie burgers. It doesn't take long to grill a burger, so he's getting really mad. He's raising his voice. He's using a lot of four-letter words with his friends, with me, you know, with everything. So he offers to grill my burgers for me. So I'm like, okay, that's not a big deal.
Okay, so did he have his own grill set up?
Yes, he had his own grill.
So he had a grill there already?
Yes, but he didn't want me to set up my grill.
Okay. Did he have people around his grill? Did he have like a party or certain people set up around his grill?
Yes, he had a table, and he had like food on the table, and his friends were there. There was about 15 people.
Okay, so then somebody was occupying that area then?
Yes, but I mean, my stuff...
So if he was occupying that area, why would you want to go occupy that area if somebody's already there?
I just thought that there would be room, because I have a mini grill. I just thought that there would be plenty of room, and I knew it wouldn't take long to grill my burgers.
All right. Okay, I see what you mean.
And he was being, and you know, and his friends were all being nice and everything. I just thought, you know, I'll grill my burgers quick. I'll get out of their hair.
So you were kind of like in the middle of their party. Did they have like a table set up right next to the grill?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Did they have chairs and?
Yeah, they had some chairs and everything like that.
So then you were having a get-together around the grill.
Yes, Your Honor. My friends came down from college that weekend. We're from Wisconsin, and I hadn't seen them in a while, so me and my girlfriend, we planned a whole beach thing for that weekend.
Tell me about your setup. What did you have?
We had a table set up. We had our lawn chairs. Our girlfriends were on towels. We basically made it obvious that we are occupying this entire area here, this pit area. And, you know, a few of us are playing football, and the rest of the girls and some of the guys were over there by the pit, you know, grilling and stuff. And I noticed her walking by as we're playing the game, and she just had this like sense of entitlement. she's walking through. I watched her set up her stuff.
Where did she set up her stuff?
It was like 15 feet, 10, 15 feet from where we were playing football.
Oh, I see.
And I let her know that, look, we're playing football here. You might want to, you know, go maybe behind the lifeguard station so you don't get hit. Of course, we're being observant as well, and we're making sure that we don't hit her with the football. But, you know, things happen when you play. As we're playing, I noticed that she walked over to my friends, and they said that she said, you know, you guys are in my spot. You guys are in my area.
Well, yeah, I said that, Your Honor, but I said it as a joke. Like, oh, you guys are in my spot. This is where I always go. You know, and they were all being very friendly to me, and I was being friendly to them, you know. Just a Sunday at the beach, you know, you meet people at the beach. You go to the beach, you meet people. And they were being very friendly.
So then what happened, Ms. Gray? So how did you get hurt?
He had grilled me my burger, and I had sat down to eat it, and I realized that I had forgot all my ketchup, all my condiments and everything. I looked over, and he had, like, a big pile, just like of condiments, you know? So I walked over, and he had gone off to play football, but he had some of his friends were at the table. So I'm not going to take it, you know, that's completely rude and immature. So I just asked, I was like, do you think it would be okay if I took a few condiment packets? And they were like, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. He shouldn't care. So I took like 4 ketchup packets, and I went over, and he comes over, and he's raising his voice. He's getting all mad, like he has a problem with me, and I feel like I haven't done anything. I've been very friendly to him. I've been friendly to his friends. And he's getting mad. He's like saying, don't touch my stuff.
I bought all the food and everything there, so if anyone's going to be okay with it, it's going to be me. But my friends are really nice, I know that, but still, like, I have the right for my stuff to be protective of my stuff.
So then you got mad at her and you told her to what?
Your Honor, that's incorrect. I didn't get mad at her. I did tell her sternly to please stay away from my stuff.
Okay.
I had told her twice, actually, that day to stay away from my stuff.
He had already warned you twice before not to...
He had asked me to stay away from his pit, but I was, like I said, I was over there because he was grilling my burger, and then his friends were talking to me.
She asked me to grill her. She basically made me grill her burger, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let's get back to the football injury, okay?
So he's getting all mad at me, and so I have only used like 2 ketchup packets, so I'm like, okay, so he's already mad. I don't want to make him any more mad. If I just put them back, maybe he'll calm down and we don't have to discuss anything else. So I go over to put the packets back, and I look up, and there's his football that he has just thrown flies through the air and smashes me in the nose, and it hits me, and I'm on the ground, and I immediately feel my nose swell up, my eyes are watering. You know, and I've been in pain, and this is very intense pain. It hurt really, really bad.
Before you said that the condiments were near the grill, near everybody. So everybody was sitting around the grill and the condiments, right?
Right.
So there were other people around her when she got hit.
Yeah, all my friends and their girlfriends, and my girlfriend was there too.
Somebody else could have easily gotten hit by the football.
True.
Okay. So how was it intentional, Ms. Gray?
The whole day, he'd been acting very hostile. He'd been raising his voice. He just had a problem with me.
So you need to prove to me that Mr. Barnes either acted intentionally in trying to hurt you, or was negligent, unreasonable, careless, completely careless and reckless. So prove to me how, when he was playing catch with his friends, he was one of those things.
Okay, so he was, again, like you said, there was a lot of people around the pit. He was playing very close to the pit, and there's families there, there's kids there. Anybody could get really hurt, you know?
There were other people around you. Why would he intentionally want to hurt other people? So he didn't do it intentionally. So how was he negligent or reckless?
He was throwing it in my direction. He was throwing extremely hard.
Did you see him throw it in your direction?
Yes.
Who did you throw the ball to?
I threw it to my friend Dustin. He was playing wide receiver that day. I was quarterback.
And then Dustin didn't catch it?
Yeah, I threw a bullet to him. I had to get it into the touchdown, and it slipped through his hands. Actually hit his hand. He almost caught it, Your Honor.
So then why aren't you suing Dustin?
He should have been more careful with where he was throwing the ball, how hard he was throwing the ball, with how they were acting all day. They were not being careful of the people around them.
You shouldn't have been there. That was not an area where you should have been. You were not welcome there. And an accident is an accident. There's no liability. We cannot show any type of negligence or recklessness or any type of other behavior to signal that it was an intentional act. This was not. So based on the evidence, I don't find any culpability or any liability on behalf of Mr. Barnes, and unfortunately, Ms. Gray, I will deny your claim for $750.
Meneer, je had een opmerking,
Ik heb het zelfs ik ben eigenlijk bij een vrij eenvoudige ingreep ook gekwetst geraakt aan de stemman. Maar...
Ik vind dit kan over mij dat gebeuren is.
Ik vind het vrij ergerlijk, meneer, als het u vandaag een half uur.
Dit kan
Ja, meneer, je had een opmerking.
Ik heb hetzelfde. Ik ben eigenlijk bij een vrij eenvoudige ingreep ook gekwetst geraakt aan de stembanden. Maar...
Ik vind dus dat dit niet kan overal dat gebeuren is. Ik
vind het vrij ergerlijk, meneer. Ergert u een half uur.
Dit kan